When Trump ran in 16, he didn't say I'm the most conservative. He didn't say I'm the most right wing or the most Republican. He said I'm America first.
Right.
He said this is about globalism and nationalism, not liberals and conservatives, Democrats and Republicans. It's about globalists, internationalists, and nationalists, people that want to put the American people first. And I heard that and I said, that's it. Like that. And it's because that really encapsulates who we are.
Nicholas Fuentes and Joel Webbon go on a 10-part series to tell us exactly what are Nick's views. What is Christian nationalism? What is America first? How do these work together? He details every single view he has. It's fiery, it's fun, it's funny, it's religious, and it shows us the true heart of Nick. We're going to watch the full clip in a second, so make sure you stay tuned in. But I'm Jared Wright. This is The Right Wing. And if you like clips like this, if you like to see what's happening in the world, if you like figures like Joel Webbon and Nick Fuentes and what they have to say, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, turn the notifications on because I post daily. I bring you these clips every single day, and we're going to detail this entire bit that they do every single day. So make sure you stay tuned. Let's just dive into this clip right now and see what they have to say.
When Trump ran in 16, he didn't say I'm the most conservative. He didn't say I'm the most right wing or the most Republican. He said I'm America first.
Right.
He said this is about globalism and nationalism, not liberals and conservatives, Democrats and Republicans. It's about globalists, internationalists, and nationalists, people that want to put the American people first. And in his inaugural, that's where I got the name of my show. And just funny story, when I started my show with Right Side Broadcasting Network, they asked me what I wanted to call the show. And my first instinct was the Nicholas J. Fuentes Show. Mm-hmm. And they said, well, that's too long. No one knows who you are. No one knows your name. I was like, okay. They said, so you need something shorter, something different. And I really had no idea. A month later, Trump gave his inaugural. And in the inaugural, he said, a new vision will govern our land. It's going to be only America first.
Yeah.
And I heard that and I said, that's it. Like that. And it's because that really encapsulates who we are. When I say we and like our kind of people and they, the people that are against us, it's those that that have a sense of American identity, that it's about the American people and their history, their heritage,
right,
going all the way back even before the founding.
Right.
We're losing this, honestly, in America. We're losing this identity that he speaks of here. So it's very important to denote what he's saying. All right, we're going to dive into a little more in a second. Let's just keep watching the clip.
For the settlement of the North American continent, where we come from,
right,
who we really are, and putting that first, that's the priority, explicitly identifying as Americans. And even, what was the point of the border wall? Yes, it's to keep foreigners out. But I thought it was bigger than that. It was a tangible representation that said, this is America. That is the rest of the world. Mm-hmm. It gave us definition in a physical way. And I said, that's who I am. I'm America first. And that's something that Ben Shapiro could not claim.
Right.
The Democrats could not claim. You could even say the capitalist class. And by those, not to sound communist, but the wealthy, the owners,
right,
the people that own the multinational corporations, and they live everywhere. You know, they have houses in Europe and Asia and America. They do business everywhere. They could not even call themselves America first. So whether it's...
Because typically you think it's conservative and liberals, you know, and conservative over here, it's free trade, capitalism, you know, like... And so, you know, or like a Ben Shapiro type, you know, like, oh, he's one of us. And those were kind of the dividing lines. And we're like, how come things just keep getting worse and worse? Like,
right.
Well, it's like, it's ping pong, but like both sides are really just two sides of the same coin. And you're right. Trump really, in a lot of ways, said like, the reason we keep losing is because both teams are against you. Both teams. Like that's not the paradigm, liberal conservative. The paradigm is the world or us.
Wow, what a clip. The paradigm is the world or us. Us as Christians. Us as Christian nationalists. Us in the America First movement. And it's interesting because I'll catch a lot of flack, very similarly to these two. Whereas I'm very critical of both sides of government, and I don't necessarily draw the line in the middle or the supposed middle, saying, well, this is normal, and it kind of gets crazier as you go out. I don't draw the line there, and that's kind of what they're hinting at. Because at this point, to have an America first stance means that you're ostracized by both sides. To the left, you are a crazy fascist, and to the right, you're a fascist. Maybe not crazy, but you're at least a fascist, right? They think that if you somehow get further right than them, if you say, well, hey, America should have strong borders and we shouldn't be shelling out money to Israel, and maybe we should focus on ourselves and this debt and not letting Somalians come in and do fraud schemes and daycares. And yeah, let's just focus on this. All of a sudden, you're crazy. All of a sudden, if you say America was a white Christian nation for 200 years and then it got ruined, it got changed because of things like the Hart-Celler Act, you're considered crazy or insane for some reason. You're considered not reasonable. If you say the border should be shut down entirely, no more immigration, legal or illegal, shut it down, you're crazy. Yet we have 100 million people in this country right now who shouldn't be here, ultimately. And a lot of our issues derive from that. Supply and demand derives from that. Who the government is sending money to derives from that. All these issues that you have with the government, probably on the left and the right, derive from the same issues that we want to address. And it comes back to this nation as Christian morals. It comes back to wanting what's best for our nation, for nationalism, because this whole globalist idea makes no sense. Why are we pushing globalist agendas? When in history have we ever done that globalist idea, this pushing of, well, I want what's best for Israel and for Britain and for France, so let's just do that, even if it means something bad for us. That's never been written down in any capacity. That's never been shown in any capacity. But yet here we are in this day and age, and that's considered the norm. What is up with that? Why can we not put our nation first? Why can we not say that America is a Christian nation and I want to support it with all that I have? And you know what? That might offend some people, but I'm sorry. If you're from Mexico or India or Somalia or Africa or even Europe, you don't have a right to be here in America. You don't. You may have a privilege to immigrate in eventually after we shut down the border and figure this stuff out, deport those who are illegal back to their home nations and get this nation sorted out. But you don't have a right. You have a privilege. That's an important thing to understand, to denote. That's America first. It's okay to put your nation first. I would even say it's biblical to put your nation first. Because if your nation is secure, then you can create an environment in which your kids can grow up in a Christian place where they don't have to see as much evil in the world like they do right now. Right now, there's a lot of evil that our kids are subject to. Homosexuality, transgenderism, running rampant, pornography, sexual immorality of all kinds, no matter what it is. The sodomites have overrun this nation. But if we put an end to that, if we shut it down and we say, you know what, we're going to be a Christian nation with strong borders, putting this nation and its people first, our kids would have a much better environment to grow up in, one that, they would probably be better Christians, stronger Christians in a lot of ways, because they weren't subject to evil, demonic spirits and influences from a young age. That is a Christian belief. Christian nationalism is biblical. They just don't want you to know that. But if you think it's biblical or you're at least curious about it, follow along the channel. I'm Jared Wright. This is The Right Wing, and I'm happy you're here. I post this content every single day. So come follow along. Dive into it with me. Let's work together to make this nation better. Hit the like, the follow, subscribe, all the buttons down below. And until next time, I hope you have a great day.